What's going on, guys? My name's Explosive Duels. I'm back at you for another video. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys what I run for my Blue Eyes deck. You know, it's a little bit finished, but I still have some things I need to finish or add into this. So let's get right into it. So I'm running 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, 2 of I guess the normal one, but it's a little bit newer. It's a reprint, and this is the one that came out in the movie. You know, just out of choice. And 2 alternative dragons. It's good to have 3. The reason why I run 2 is because I don't have 3. You know, and it's actually pretty useful to have 3 if you're using this cards I'm going to show in a little bit. I'll explain to you later. But so I would search. Basically, what that card does, I'll just search for. I would just use a card called Melody Awakening Dragon to search for these 2, and I could reveal this and special summon this onto the field. And its effect is I could activate. Activate it, and then what it does, I could target a monster my opponent controls. I could destroy it. So it's good to run 3 of them for searching and for I guess for like synchro plays or something crazy like that. So now I'll show you guys what else I have. 3 White Stone of Ancients. What this does is that, well, first off, it's a level 1 dragon type tuner, and then you can use it for synchros by combining this monster and that monster, or either one of these and that. And what I could use for that is, what I do is I either could normal summon it, and then tribute one of these to synchro either a Blue Eyes Azure Eyes Silver Dragon or a Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. I'll show you guys. I'll get into detail with that in a bit. The effect of this is that when it's sent to the graveyard, during that turn it was sent to the graveyard, I could special summon a Blue Eyes from my deck. So I could bring out a Dragon Spirit of White, which I run 2, and I'll show you a little bit. And I would bring out one of these. I'm pretty sure I could. This is Blue Eyes Monster, so I'm pretty sure I could bring out one of those alternative dragons, but unless it specifies on there. But yeah, and then we could just banish this from your graveyard, and then bring one of these back to your hand. I think you can do that only once per turn, and I'll show you guys what else I have. 2 Dragon Spirit of White. So the effect of this is that I'm able to tribute it to special summon a Blue Eyes from my hand, and its effect when it's special summoned onto the field is that I'm allowed to banish a spell or trap card that my opponent controls. So this is good for, like, you know, destroying the back row and stuff like that. And then, like, since you got a 2500 monster, then you could just tribute that and bring this out, and then maybe a Melody of Awakening Dragon. No, I mean, excuse me. The Turn of the Dragon Lords this card, and then boom, do it again, so they could destroy their back row and stuff like that. And it's also treated as a normal monster while in the hand or graveyard. So yeah, I guess you could, you know, make plays with some certain cards that only allows you to bring back normal monsters, stuff like that. 1 White Stone of Legend. So I do that for synchro plays too, and when sent to the graveyard, I can search for one of these. I actually need to search for only a Blue Eyes White Dragon. That lets me search for a Blue Eyes White Dragon. But what's the point of having more than one of them? You know, if I could just search for that with this or something, or some other card. Like, there's no point to have more than one of these. I see people that run 3 of these, and it's like kind of a waste. It's better just to have one, because you don't have to waste any dead space in your fucking deck and stuff like that. And you're gonna be running other level 1 tuners in your deck for either counter plays to like destroy a monster, or target on a monster to negate their effects and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll show you what else I have. 2 Maidens with Eyes of Blue and 1 Master with Eyes of Blue. This one's a nicer one. I guess I got it at the card shop, but this basically, what's good about it is that it's a tuner. It's a level 1 tuner, and also its effect is that when it's targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack, switch its battle position, and then special summon a Blue Eyes from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is really, really strong and insanely good for plays like that. Something, you know, but if people were smart on your other team, they would not target this or anything. You know, they would try to it either negate the effect of monsters or something. Then they could probably destroy this. But while this effect is active, they are not able to, they can target it, but they'll just bring another Blue Eyes out for me, and the attack is negated. I used to run 2 Master with Eyes of Blue, but I just felt like it was like a waste of space running more than one of these. But its effect is that when I normal summon, I can bring back a level 1 light tuner monster back to my hand from my graveyard, and also when it's in the in the graveyard, if I control an effect monster, I could tribute that effect monster and special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a Blue Eyes monster from my graveyard. And then this card gets shuffled back into my deck, but I just felt like I'd rather run 3 Sages instead, or maybe just like either take this one out, take Master Eyes Blue out, and run 2 Sages and 2 Maidens, so I could search for these and stuff like that. And I'll show you what else I have. Okay, 2 effect Veilers. The effect of this is I can discard this to my graveyard and target 1 monster, and it has its effects negated for the rest of the turn. I run 2 of them. I used to run 1 before just because I didn't have 2, but you know, I ordered 1 in the mail, so I might as well have both of them. So yeah, I have 2 of them in my deck, so I could just like target, let's say like someone normal summons a monster and its effect they could search for something, I would just effect Veiler so they can't do that kind of thing. And so yeah, 1 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit and 1 Max C. So I used to run 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, but I feel like I should just I wanted to trade one of them because I feel like it wasn't really that good. But now I feel like I wish I had 2. But I traded a Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit for a Max C, which is actually really good, especially when you're playing against people that synchro a lot and all those play. I could just draw cards and I send this to my graveyard, draw as many cards as they special summon. But with this, what it does is that I could, let's say when a monster activates its effect, I could put this in my graveyard and that monster gets destroyed. It doesn't negate it though, but when someone activates a continuous spell or a continuous trap, I just send this in my graveyard, it gets destroyed. And then you guys know what this does. This used to be really expensive back then when it first came out, but I got reprinted. So I could discard this to my graveyard and then draw a card for each special summon my opponent does. So yeah, let me just show you guys more cards that I run. I would probably say this is the boss monster of my deck, you know, which is 2 Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragons. So this could only be ritual summoned by using an Advanced Ritualer or Chaos form. And its effect is that it's 4,000 attack. It's really strong, but it has 0 defense. But the good thing is, if I attack a defense monster, it does double damage piercing, which means that if I attack a defense monster and say you subtract the number of attack by its defense, and then they take the life points still. But the other thing is it does double damage piercing. So that means you subtract 8,000 minus whatever the defense is, and they take those life points. So this is a really good OTK card. So I run 2 Advanced Ritual Arts and 1 Chaos form. So what Advanced Ritual Art does is that, okay, so if I have this in my hand and this in my hand, what I would do initially is that I would activate this, send 1 of these into my graveyard. So basically the Chaos Max Dragon's level 8. So I send a level 8 monster, either these 2 or 1 of these 5 into my graveyard. I could ritual summon the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. And by the way, I forgot to add that this card cannot be targeted by card effects nor destroyed by card effects. So basically, if your opponent has a lot of monsters, I could just Dark Hole, and then everything except for this will be on the field. It's actually insanely strong. And what Chaos Form does is I have to banish either a Blue Eyes from my hand or from my graveyard, and I could summon that. So if let's say I have 2 Advanced Ritual Arts in my hand, all my Blue Eyes are in my deck or my hand, then I'm gonna have to use this. I'm planning to run 2 of these. You know, I just need another one I need to order. I'm not really fully done with my deck, but this is what I'm initially running for probably I'm going to be running for the next week or 2, maybe 3 more weeks, depending on how much money I get to afford these cards. Because my deck probably costs over like $100 already. And I don't even have Sage with Eyes of Blue in this deck yet. So yep, I'll show you guys a little bit more what I have. So these are the drawers, the draw power I have in my deck. So 3 trade-ins, so I could just discard a level 8 monster, which I have about 7 of them. So, and I have 3 of these, so I could probably get a decent amount out of it. So each time I discard 1 level 8 monster, I draw 2 cards. So these are my drawing. This is the drawing power I have. 1 Shard of Greed. So each time I draw a card during my normal draw, this gains a counter. And when you get up to 2, it's destroyed, and you draw 2 more cards. And the last draw power I have is Upstart Goblin. This card is limited to 1. So the person gets 1,000 life points, and I draw a card. So this could be good for drawing power. Like honestly, some people when this used to be up to about 3. People would basically use this card for like just a bunch of draw power. There's basically 3 cards in your deck that allows you to draw, like if you have this. So that's why they limited it to 1. And I'll show you guys what else I have. These are the 3 searchers of my deck. I really don't have, I guess, yeah, these are the only searchers I have. Nothing else allows me to search except for probably, this allows me to search for Blue Eyes White Dragon. This allows me to search and add to my field, but that's about it. These are the cards that I used to search for these 2. I would always combo it off with Blue Eyes and Alternative, but when, let's say I have a Ritual Warrior in my hand, I just do, and I have a Blue Eyes in my hand, luckily I search for Blue Eyes Alternative and Chaos Max Dragon. So this allows me to discard a card and then search for a monster with Dragon type monster with 3,000 or more attack and 2,500 or less defense. And I'll show you guys what else I have. I run 2 Dragon Shrines. What this does is that allows me to discard a Dragon type monster from my deck to the graveyard, and if it's a normal monster, then I could do another one. So I use this to basically discard a White Stone of Legend to search for Blue Eyes, depending on the situation, or do this to discard a White Stone of Age to bring out a Blue Eyes White Dragon at the end of my turn. I'll show you what else I have. These are the things that destroy materials. Okay, so MST, I recommend you run 2 Twin Twisters instead, so you can discard a card and then destroy 2 spells or traps on the field. But this allows me to do it for free, but only allows me to do 1. So an MST just destroys, but does not negate spell or trap effects. So if let's say I destroy a trap that it could be activated, like on that turn, then they could be activated. Depends on the situation, because let's say like if I destroy Magic Cylinder, they can't really activate it. I mean, but this I guess would negate technically continuous traps, continuous spells, and stuff like that. And then, or spells or traps that needs to be on the field in order to be active. And then Dark Hole, basically, it's limited to 2, but I only run 1, and destroys all monsters on the field, basically. But, you know, if I have one of these, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Mirror Force, so basically when a person attacks me with their monster, I just activate the trap and then they get destroyed, basically. And I'll show you the last 2 things that I have. Triple Swords of Concealing Light, a Soul Charge, and Betrayal of the Dragon Lords. So, Swords of Concealing Light allows me to turn all my opponent's monsters to face down defense position for each of my standby phases. So what this allows me to do basically is if I combo that with Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, I basically destroy their monster. Unless there's some sort of flip effect that they have. Because this does not negate monster effects, but when the cards face down, there's basically no monster effect on there. And then I run 1 Soul Charge. This is limited to 1, so what it allows me to do, I pay 1,000 life points to bring back monsters onto my field, but I cannot attack the same turn that I activate it. But this is really, really good, just in case like all your monsters are gone and you can't really return them. So, Return of the Dragon Lords. This is actually a really strong card. So you basically target 1 level 7 or level 8 Dragon type monster in my graveyard and I special summon onto the field. Okay, and when I banish this and someone destroys my monster, I can just banish this and then they have that Dragon type monster stay on the field that I use to special summon with. Or, yeah, no, actually you could use any, like let's say I have 3 Blue Eyes on the field, if I only have 1 of these in my graveyard, I could just banish one of these. So, I recommend you run 3 of these. If there's anything I would change, probably, in this whole entire deck, would probably be adding one other Chaos Form, taking out Shard of Greed, and Upstart Goblin, removing Dark Hole for a Raigeki or a Lightning Storm, changing this to 2 Twin Twisters, maybe 2 Mirror Forces or 1 Mirror Force, probably have 2 Maxis, 1 Effect Veiler, 2 Ghost Ogres, probably have probably 1 Master's Eyes of Blue. No, actually no. Take Master's Eyes of Blue out and search for 2 and have 2 Sages and another Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, and that would be pretty much the end of my deck, guys. So one thing I almost forgot is that my extra deck. So for this extra deck's not completed, but you know, this extra deck's not completed, so I would just run 1 Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Same thing as regular Ultimate Dragon, but the thing is that this has If I could discard a Blue Eyes monster from my extra deck, I could just attack again. But it's not. I don't run Polymerization for this deck, so I really don't need to use this. And instead, I could just do 3. I could Xyz summon for Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon by having 3 Blue Eyes on the field, and this. You know, I could detach the material and destroy a card on the field. Any face opponent controls, I could destroy it. That's pretty much why I use this. This is pretty good. I think most Blue Eyes players would run this. 2 Dragon Spirit. Oh, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. So I would usually bring this up in defense position. So what it does is that neither player can special summon 2 or more times at the same turn. Once per turn, I could, during player's turn, when an effect in the graveyard is activated, I can negate the activation. During either player's turn, you can tribute a Synchro Summon card, special summon 1 Dragon type Synchro monster from your extra deck in defense position. So I never have the materials to do this, because like this is 2 level. But let's say this card is attacked, effect, graveyard, bring this out, all cards on the field except for this gets destroyed. So yeah. That's pretty strong, but this gets destroyed at the end of the phase though. And then I would do Azure Eye Silver Dragon. So I would bring this up in defense position, and then all dragon type monsters on my field cannot be targeted by card effects. And I would do this in defense position depending on what my opponent's monsters like. And then I would bring back Blue Eyes from my graveyard during my standby phase. So this is really strong. And then I would run Neo Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon. So I really don't know how to I can't really use this effect anyways, but I could basically detach material and control one of their monsters basically. But the thing is, I need to have a Cypher card as a Xyz material. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe. Always, peace the fuck out. Have a good one. Never forget to stay classy, boys. Peace.